The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
Everybody's a suspect!
Honey, you got real ugly.
Don't fuck with the Chuck!
Welcome back to Toe Tag Reviews. I'm Chuck, and today we're going to be talking about The Black Phone. It came out in 2022 and was directed by Scott Derrickson, and it made $161.4 million. Now, before we get started, I do need you to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that the bell notification is on. Now, enough small talk, and let's get started, shall we? First up, we have the facts. The script was written in 6 weeks, and the film was shot in 30 days. Director Scott Derrickson said that he believes in ghosts because millions of people have claimed to see them, and he trusts that as evidence. Lastly, Ethan Hawke had the idea for the grabber to react with panic when Finney removes his mask. Now, I really like that because it makes it seem like he has a connection to the mask. He isn't his true self without the mask, and it's very reminiscent of Michael Myers in Halloween Kills. Next up, we got the plot. Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who's being held captive in a soundproof basement by a masked, sadistic killer. When a disconnected phone starts to ring, he hears voices of the previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. I really like the plot and overall story that this movie tells, but I don't know what's scarier, the main plot or the subplot. Finney and Gwen both lost their mother and now have to deal with a shit-dick, drunk, abusive father, which sadly make it more relatable to those that deal with this kind of situation. It's truly tragic. Next up, we have the characters. Finney is played by Mason Thames, who is a shy, quiet kid who seems to get picked on a lot and tries his best just to get by. But the one thing I really like about him is how close him and his sister Gwen are. They share the same problems and have that trauma bond. Gwen is played by Madeline McGraw, and she is the younger sibling, but in a sense also the big sister, for always helping Finney and trying to protect him at all costs. We see her hold her own against the bullies, and she has that protective nature to her. She never gives up on Finney, and she's truly a badass in this film. The grabber is played by Ethan Hawke, and the best thing about him is he's a mystery. I love the fact we don't have a backstory on him because not everyone needs a backstory. I personally like the mystery and leaving it up to my imagination. It makes it way better and actually terrifying. The only thing we really know about him is that he's a magician, he's a murderer, and he's got a brother that loves the devil's dandruff. Cocaine. I'm talking about cocaine, people. Next up, we have the kills. Most of the kills are off screen. There are only 2 that we really see, which is a bit of a letdown because I would have loved to see the grabber in action and see if the hype is real, you know what I mean? But the VHS rewind moment is gonna have to go to Max.
Clear. Clear.
It's the most graphic, and it's a freaking axe to the head. Like, that's awesome. That's always a fun time. Next up, we have the scare factor. While I personally don't find it scary, I would be lying if I said I didn't find it unsettling at times. I can see how it can be uneasy or triggering even because of how relatable the topic is. Children being abducted and having their lives taken is truly despicable, so I can see why it wouldn't appeal to the masses. Next up, we got the replay value. As great as this movie is, it's one I just don't find myself watching too often. I'm not sure why, because it has a great cast, great performances, awesome atmosphere, but like I said, I'm not sure why per se, if it's the subject matter or really what, but it just doesn't have a lot of replay value. Lastly, we got the toe tag score. 5 out of 5. My first time watching this was with my wife on opening night, and we walked out of the theater and we absolutely loved it. I think it still holds up, and even though there isn't a lot of on-screen deaths, the approach that they took here is how you correct that. I know movies taking the lives of kids is pretty taboo, and like when you see the black van approach, the camera quickly fades to black, indicating that the grabber strikes again. And I totally dig that. I totally understand why they did it, and in my opinion, that's why the only 2 deaths you see on screen are the adults. And as much as I want this to be a standalone film, I am pretty excited for The Black Phone 2, but I just don't want it to be a prequel. But I have a feeling it's going to be, but that's either here nor there. That's just my personal take on it. It is what it is. But all right, guys, that's a wrap on The Black Phone. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for tuning in to Toe Tag Reviews. As always, I'm Chuck. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and until then, see you later.